I'm going to lower this volume a little bit. There we go. Ooh, it does hit different. Oh, 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 oh. That's good. Good. There we go. Okay. This is just a. I've been setting up stuff for so long, damn it. Okay. Before I begin, I'm going to set some ground rules. Um, avoid repeating as much as possible. This is exempt in the case of gimmick forms and starters. They're kind of going to avoid it, but starter is less of a thing. It's more of I'm going to try to avoid it. If a mon doesn't exist in a category, like technically these, I'm not going to put it in. And this is using the up-to-date type, so mons that were normal type, that are now fairy, etc., are now classified in different categories. Question is, how do I go about it? Do I just do all the normals first, then all the fires, or do I want to go by the generations is the question. But the thing is with normals that it does like end up down here, so we'll go with the normal first. Okay. This was a bad idea. Yeah, by Jet is significantly easier. It does mean that I have to move the screen. That's the one problem. It's not too bad. And I'm so sorry, everything. I can't pick anything else. Like, how could anything compare to the Eevee boy? This is the one part which I make people upset, because it's basically you pick your favorite fire type, and if your answer basically isn't Charizard or Arcanine, people yell at you. Yeah, not even Snorlax. It's like basically if you don't pick one of these two, people get upset with you. And then if you pick, like, Rapidash, they get really upset with you. From a statistical standpoint, the best thing here, other than Moltres, is probably Charizard. From a fun perspective, there's the Foxy. Charizard cringe. The problem with water is that in Gen 1, and literally every other generation, water makes up almost all the types. So it's like, what do I go with? I go with a pure water type. We could go with something like Blastoise or the Polys, or we go with one of the crosses like Lapras. The best part is I've basically used every water type on this list, so which is actually quite amusing because they're just available in most games, so you can actually get them pretty quick. I probably, as much, I'm going to try to avoid evolutions because I know which ones I really, really want to put on the list, and I don't really want the list to just be everything's an evolution. So I think probably in Gen 1, the most fun is probably either Illusion of Kabutops, because in Gen 1 itself, it's silly. Or Lapras, just because it's common. While we can't forget about the silly broken psychic type boy. I'm gonna be a normal person. Go Lapras, I think, for this. Probably a good idea. Grass. I think this is the first time I'm going to put a starter down, I think, because I've used them all, and I don't care for really any of them. I guess I could put Vileplume down, because they're not too bad. I've used Exeggutor. Like, they're not awful. They're just kind of mid. Yeah, I think that we're going to put the Grass type boy down. If I don't do a first trial, that'll literally hit stream. Oh, we're all right. We're not done. Boom, done. Bye, stream. I'm sorry. There goes Eevee. Because I'm gonna repeat Mons. I don't want to put something there. You know what? We'll go with Cloyster, I think. Cloyster is probably a good idea for ice in this case. As a note, by the way, I am drinking because I don't think I could get through this if I wasn't drinking. I am only taking sips though. So I can either be Angry Boy, get Angry Boy, get Buff Boys, or get Boxer and Kickboxer. It is a rum old fashioned. I have other drinks too. It's just that it's the thing I'm sipping very slowly. Because the rum I have is actually quite like it's when you first drink it, it's very light, but that's very deceptive. It hits you hard afterwards. I don't normally like rum, but this rum is pretty good. AKA, it's decent because it's not actually that expensive rum. I'm gonna think. The one I use the most is Hitmonchan, actually, I think. Even though I don't really use fighting types in Gen 1. if you don't like alcohol, you're not gonna like an old fashioned. It's alcohol forward. So we're gonna do. I already did this list before, and I feel so bad, but we're gonna do the same thing for poison and ground that I did prior, which was just put both Nidos. Just gonna put both Nidos there. I'm so sorry. Yeah, holy poison. Yeah, there's actually a lot of poison types in Gen 1, which is quite surprising. They just put poison with bloody everything. Like, Beedrill is poison, Venusaur, like, the Venusaur line is poison, Ekans, both Nidos, like, the Zubat, Vileplume, Venonat, and such. Like, they're all poison, which is, like, ridiculous. Flying. We have quite a few options, because I avoided putting Pidgeot down. We could put Pidgeot or Fearow down, which is pretty cool. We get access to Aerodactyl, even Dragonite. The problem is I can't put Dragonite anywhere but in Dragon, because there's only one Dragon type in Gen 1. I think I'm torn between Pidgeot and Scyther, because Scyther be cool because it's bug, but it's Pidgeot is the quintessential I'm a bird. I think Pidgeot's the way to go. I think. And what we'll do actually after I'm done this is we're going to compare it. Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to pick Dragonite. We'll get to that. Psychic, we have some options. And I think we'll go with Slowbro because I was debating on putting it in water, so we'll put it here. Because I like Alakazam and stuff. It's just they aren't nearly as interesting. Bug, we have a whopping few selections. And because I didn't put Scyther and Flying, let's put them here. Although, in Gen 1, they're pretty reliable. Later on, they're hit or miss, because the game's just got more and more speed heavy. But why do I love the clock? Every time I hear a clock in a song, I just love it. I think I'll go with Kabutops as well, because I was mentioning Kabutops from water. With Ghost, we have one option. Well, we have one line of options. I could pick another thing, but I much prefer Gengar over the rest of the line. And we're going to pick Dragonite, because Dragon. Though I could obviously pick Dragonite or Dratini. I'd much prefer Dragonite over the two of them. With Dark, there's these, like, glitches, basically, or things that don't exist. And I'm just going, now. Magneton. Fairy, we have the option of Jigglypuff. Fuck you, this is my list. In the starter category, I'm gonna go a curveball. I don't think people saw coming. And we're going to go with Wartortle. I forget which N this is. I think this is the normal N. Yeah, this is the N final battle in black and white, because I'm kind of used to N in black 2, white 2. Because that's the one I hear more often. So gimmick forms. So we have Mega Evolution and Gigantamax here. And the design that looks the most interesting is probably either Mega Gengar or Gigantamax Lapras. With Charizard Y being a close, like, third. I think I'll go with Gengar. I like G. The thing is, I don't like them. I don't even like the sprites that they made for them. I just don't like them. I never liked them. I don't even find them funny. I just don't like them. And to be fair, I feel really bad for like the Gigantamax Kanto starters because they just feel like they took the megas and said we wanted more. It's like, I'm sorry, but that's just not interesting. I understand what they were going for with them. It's just I don't find them amusing, and I just don't like them. I wonder why I rarely use Gigantamax. Legend! We have 5 options. And we have the psychic types. And we have the 2 that are weak to rock and the one that's not. The problem is because the way the legends worked in Gen 1 is that they weren't really... They're not good. Except for maybe Mewtwo. And I don't think they are, like, good, even now. Other than Mewtwo, because Mewtwo actually has a reason to, like, for people to use him. So I think maybe Articuno. I mean, Zapdos isn't quad weak. Like, they don't die in one hit from basically Stealth Rocks. Yes, I have Stealth Rocks. I send out Articuno. Well, that's half of its points just gone. Send out Moltres, same thing. Like, Zapdos doesn't like Rock either, but it could probably tank maybe one hit if you're lucky. While the other 2 can't do crap. No, it's 50%. It's not 1/4. It's half. I'm right. Okay. More specifically, I don't think it. Yeah, no, it still is. Yeah, I haven't changed how it works. Yeah, it's bloody great. It's the best. It's literally the best set move because it's so good. I'm gonna go with Articuno just because they look great. And my favorite, it has to be the Electric Boy, I think, because it's just they're so cute. So if I scroll back over to here, there will be a running trend. I'm going to try to avoid EVs. So for normal, we have the Furret, the Noctowl, some Mons I don't really care about, Ursaring, Girafarig, like Porygon 2 and stuff. I'm being fully honest, I've only actively used 2 of these. And they're the first ones. So I'm gonna use Ferret because who doesn't like a good ferret? Fire, we have options, and I'm very much aware that someone in this chat would very much appreciate it if I put Typhlosion here. Instead, I'm going to pick his Dark-type counterpart. Most because it's good doggo. Water, we have some good options. We have the Electric Boy, who never sees to do anything because they aren't great. We have the Happy Boys. We have the Bunnies. We have the King. Nothing else. No, the original descriptor. A piece of coral. A giant, a dragon seahorse. And an octopus with only 4 legs. Um, the one I've used the most would probably be Azumarill. But design-wise, I do quite like Kingdra because it has that epic thing. However, because it's also the only damn dragon, I believe it's the only dragon type in yeah, it's the only dragon type in here. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use Azumarill. Grass, we have some great options. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 options. So it's a pretty tough choice. You know, I think I quite like the idea of going with Blossom. Blossom is a good choice. Good pick. Electric, I have no other choice. It must be the Electric Boy. It must be the goat himself, quite literally. Ice, we get to a tough part because, how do you put it? Ice in Gen 2 is hot garbage. Oh yes, very true. As I want to avoid repeating lines, I'm going to go with actually I'll go with Swinub. I think I prefer Swinub over Piloswine. Fighting. I'm sorry, there's no other damn choice. A poison, we have the options of the bug types, Crobat, or a fish. Ground, we have some more options. I don't think I'm going to put Gliscor on the list, so we'll go with Gligar, because I do like Gligar and Gliscor. And although I like Donphan and Phanpy, I don't find them overly interesting, and I've already used the Swinub line. So, putting, like, Larvitar and stuff on the list is, like, good, but there's going to be a sneaky suspicion where Tyranitar is going to go. Flying, I haven't used Noctowl yet. We're like, yeah. Unless I want to use a legend, I think it's my best choice. Psychic has all the fucking unknowns, in case you want a specific unknown. I don't like Quagsire. You know this. Everyone knows this at this point. I'm practically known for not liking Quagsire. Mostly because I prefer his replacements. Quite literally, because they do the exact same thing as him. It's just one of them is slower and the other one's faster. I think they're slower. I'm pretty sure they're slower. Hell, they might actually... No, yeah, one of them will actually definitely get on the list, because I do really like them. Yanma? Yanma. I'm trying to figure out options, because I've put limitations on myself. Hi, Tyranitar, how are you? Why? Because I know what's going in dark. Hi, Misdreavus, who's the only ghost type in Gen 2. RIP. Hi, Kingdra, the only dragon in Gen 2. Yeah. Hi, Murkrow. You're fine. I could put we'll have to put Umbreon, because I prefer Umbreon over Murkrow. Just, I don't care for Murkrow. I kind of like Honchkrow, but I don't really like Murkrow. I was gonna say I have to go with Skarmory, but then I remembered no, Scizzor's pretty cool. No, I'll go with my gut. We'll stick with Skarmory, I think. Fairy's a tough choice, both because I kind of bucked myself into a corner by picking Azumarill for water. However, You don't have to worry about this. I do have a cunning plan. It's called I'm going to break my own rules. I just don't think I don't think there's a water type I prefer here over Azumarill, and because there's no fairy types that I prefer, I'm just gonna break my own rules. And say hi to Quilava. Not Typhlosion. Quilava. I would go Cyndaquil to please my girlfriend, but no, Quilava. I have to go with the Ampharos boy. Ho-Oh, the superior legend. And if you disagree with me, you're just statistically incorrect. And also, like, it has cool rainbow feathers. Like, come on. Lugia is awful, and you know it. The design is just actually kind of hard to look at. That's the main thing why I don't like Lugia. I just don't like its hands. They just bug me. Like, why does it have hands? Yeah, and the Ho-Oh can still kill them in like 2 hits if you have the right setup. Which is spooky, actually. I've seen a Ho-Oh go burr. It's spooky. I have to go with Ampharos, the best boy. Not his dragon counterpart. I like it, but normal Ampharos. Ho-Oh be spooky. And Ho-Oh's actually not too bad tanky-wise either. They're actually reasonably tanky. But to be fair, that's also because of his stupid high stat total, but... It also helps that they get Punishment in Gen 4, which is a physical move against Lugia, who likes to buff. Like, Punishment is just spooky against Lugia, and it's great. So Gen 3, we're given, some good crap. I'm going to stick with my guns, and we're going to go with Zangoose. I guess mid 3. Fire, yeah, you're going to see a running trend real quick. Except for the fact that water's not going to be it. But you're going to see a running trend for like, soon. Sharpedo. A running trend. A running trend. I'm sorry, I just slightly prefer Sharpedo over Swampert. Manectric is pretty cool. Ice. We're gonna go with the round boy. We have to go with the round boy, right? Like, he's the round boy. Yeah, no, Breloom. He spin. Yeah, he rule. Poison. I'm gonna violate my rule later, but we're gonna put Roselia there. Ground, we get to the fun part. Is, do I want to redeem Swampert in the ground part so that, like, he's around? Or do I want to completely shaft him? That is the question. I could do that. I could be a dick. Because there is another ground type on this list that I do really like. So it's like, which one do I pick? Not to mention, I don't actually really do like Claydol. It's just trying to get Claydol is the bloody nightmare. Redemption. I think I'm gonna go with the Redemption arc. We're gonna go with the Redemption arc for Swampert. The flying, we're gonna go with the Floofy Bird. Psychic, I'm gonna be honest, there's no competition except for the fact that I have to use it in Fairy, meaning there is competition, and we're gonna go make we're gonna, I think, put we can put I think we can put it. Yeah. We can do that. We could do that. We're gonna put Metagross here in the Psychic. Yeah, but pretty much. Yeah, in terms of Claydol, yeah, they're like, you can get it at the same time as Trapinch. but like it's not that hard to get. But it evolves about the same time, and your like the reward you get is not worth it. If you want a ground type, like going with Flygon, Oishcash, or if you started with Swampert is just a better option. Not too bad. That's if you want a ground type, because the main reason you wanted a ground type was for Watson, and you couldn't even get a ground type before him because the game's a dick. um, with bug type, we're gonna go with Armaldo because Armaldo is cool. No other reason really. I just don't care for most of these other bug types. I've used actually quite a few of them. Masquerain and Beautifly were like aces in Nuzlocke of mine. So like, I have used them and I do quite like them because they do actually turn out pretty okay. It's just, I think Armaldo's cooler. The end. Rock is unique because we're gonna go with Credilli, actually, because we're gonna save Aggron a seat. Ghost, we have some options. I think we're gonna go with. I think I prefer Shuppet because of what it's based on. Yeah, Masquerain Intimidate is just sexy. And not to mention, they got a stat boost in, I think, Gen 6. The Gen 6 or 7. So they're actually, like, it was just enough to make them pretty decent. So it's like, there's actually a reason to use Masquerain. They're not great by any means, but they're, like, if you pick one up, you're not going to be completely dissatisfied. Especially since Intimidate, but... Dargons. Yeah. This is where I'll put Flygon. Because I use Salamence. I don't care for it. It's interesting, it's a fun dragon, but no. It's just not my thing. If I want a traditional dragon, I much prefer Dragonite. I think they look better. So it's like, I'm sorry, Salamence, you're getting shafted. Dark type, Absol, because it's the boy. Hi, Aggron, how are you? Hi, Gardevoir, how are you? Favorite starter? I'm going to only use Final Evolution for this one, and we're going to go with Sceptile. The simple reason is I have a slight inclination to use Sceptile more than the other ones, but typically it depends on which game I'm playing, and because I usually use Sceptile in Alpha Sapphire, that's the one I use. If I was playing Ruby, I'd be using Swampert. If I was playing Emerald, I'd be using Blaziken. It's like, it doesn't really matter. It's just because of what Mons are available in each game, so I want to use different Mons for them. Essentially, Sapphire has the better water type selection, while Ruby has the better grass type selection. So it's like, gimmick forms. There's a lot of them because, you know, Oras. We have some options. We can be sexy and go with like the ones that look really good, or I can be funny and go with the Foof. And I think I want to go with the Foof or the Wings, because I do like the Floof. The Floof be funny. Let's go with Floof. This is the first one where there's a lot of legends. And I don't dislike any of them. Like, it's not like the other ones where I just go, nah, they're not my thing. It's like, I've actively used them all at some point by doing something. It's like, I know their strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, Hot Topic and woo. I think think Kyogre is the best option, I think. And my favorite from all of this, the one I literally will use all the time. I'm sorry, Gardevoir is just 10 out of 10. Gen 4. I forgot the normal type selection in Gen 4 is both stacked and not at the same time. Because there's some real good shit in here, and there's some real bad shit in here. What do you mean, dog? Actually, where was dog brought up? Oh, Bidoof isn't a dog, though. They're a beaver. I don't see them as a dog. Like, I legitimately don't. I see them as a beaver crossed with a raccoon dog, so, like a tanuki. No, it's not Bidoof. I think Staraptor is my best choice, just because it's just something else. And I'm pretty sure there's another flying type. Yeah, there's more flying types. We're good. Okay. They can do that. I don't see them as a dog. And I didn't know people actually did that. Ah, yes. The fun part of Gen 4. So you have the fire type you get at the beginning of the game. The fire type you in Diamond and Pearl you can't get until you beat the game. The fire type that only existed in Platinum, which you couldn't get until you beat the game. And the fire type that existed in both games, but could only be gotten after you beat the game. Such a great selection. Yeah. So I have no real problem putting in Fernape here. Water type is good. We're gonna actually put Gastrodon here because I quite like Gastrodon. I've used it repeatedly, and it's one of the few that's like I never like it, which is really weird. And then I like literally just used it once because I don't have a water type, and I fell in love with it because it's just, what is it? It's better Quagsire. Statistically, it's better Quagsire, and I much prefer the look of a slug because they just look good. Grass type, I'm going to be based. Well, I know there's a trend, I'm sorry. But we could do something else and bring in the other trend. Because I did actually make a competitive Leafeon at one point. Oh yeah, plenty of options. So we're going to bring in Magnezone for the electric type. I know I've already used Magneton, but I do want to have Magnezone on the list. There's no reason that I do quite like it. And hi, Weavile, how are you? Except for the fact, no, you're not. You're going to be in the dark type. So we're Frostlass here because I've used it, and I do quite like it. Fighting, we have some excellent selection of pretty okay crap, actually. I'm pretty sure to put Riolu here because I prefer Riolu to Lucario. There's no reason of you spend more time with it than Lucario typically. So Poison? Not a hard choice. Just Roserade. Like, come on. Ground isn't... Question. I see, I have Legends. Or Garchomp. So, we'll put Rhyperior here. I don't mind putting Rhyperior down. I do quite like Rhyperior. I'm very much aware in Gen 5 onward, Rhydon is better, just because you can use the Eviolite. But I do like Rhyperior. It's interesting. It was a unique idea to give Rhydon an evolution. For flying, yeah, I have no real. I have to be picky. No, we can use Honchkrow. We can use Honchkrow because I actually have that option. I'm now trying to like strategically maneuver Mons into the slots. At least Gen 5 will be easy. There's no repeats. Why is Chairman Rose's theme just so randomly epic for no good reason? It has no reason to be this epic. um, yeah. Actually, we have to put Gallade somewhere. I don't like Gallade very much. Yeah, why is it here? Yeah, it's like it's so randomly epic. I love it, but they could have just made this like Eternatus's theme and it would have still worked. Actually, it probably would have worked better. And even then, Eternatus's theme is really good. Actually, that is something. Sword and Shield's soundtrack is probably one of the better ones. I don't care for the gym leader tracks and stuff, but the bass just music is really nice. I don't think I've used in Yanmega yet, so we can put Yanmega there because I've used it in Yanmega. In Legends Arceus, actually. I did replace them eventually, but I did use them. They were quite fun. Rampardos, yeah. Ghost types, we have basically one choice, and if you don't know what it is, you are clearly uninformed. I have to go with Gible. You might be going, why are you going with Gible? It's because Gible is adorable, and fuck you, basically. I quite like Gible. Gible is one of the most adorable dragon type mons that it starts with, and it's just great. Gibble's like a mon that I would like give a chew toy to and watch it just chew it. Like that's literally how I feel about it. Hi Weavile, because I do want you on the list. Did kind of have to. Actually, didn't have to break any of my rules to give you there. And then, hi Empoleon, you are getting the redeem. Unlike Torterra, who did not get the redeem. Actually, I'm sorry, Torterra will get the redeem. Fuck that, we're gonna have it. Togekiss there. And I'm gonna reveal my trump card. Because of the pseudo wood. Like, it's fake wood. I know exactly why it's named Pseudo Wudo. Yeah, it's pseudo wood. Oh. So, it's just pseudo wood. You see, I don't like the Gen 4 Megas. I think they're all kind of mediocre. Must because Gallade, I don't care for Gallade very much. I care enough where I put them on a list. Like, I've used one. They're decent. I care them as a competitive mon rather than a actual design. Yeah. I don't like Garchomp. The scythe hands just do not work for me. Lucario is even more spiky, and I don't like that. Abomasnow is too pushy, and Lopunny just kind of looks like they really wanted to try harder to make it not look quite the same. Yeah. If you don't think about it, it's just a name. But if you think about it, it's like, oh. I think the one that's stylistically the most fitting is probably Mega Lucario, because they made it look the least overtly crazy. Like, Mega Gallade is just too, and Garchomp are just too much. Abomasnow is also a bit too much. Lopunny is just not different enough, so I guess we'll have to go with just slightly too much. We're now getting to the larger amounts of legends, and I have to go with the Steel Dragon himself because I just prefer him. And my favorite from Generation 4. I'm completely not biased. I don't know what we're talking about. Totally not biased. The reminder is just how many normal types there are in Gen 5. Except for the fact that most of them aren't very good. That's the big problem. Most of these normal types are actually pretty decent. Not all of them. There's still some that are garbage or mediocre. But I think the last time I saw someone using like Sawsbuck was someone intentionally running a Sap Sipper set. And to be fair, most of the 156 is Legends. So, yeah. Well, not necessarily most of the 156. Like, it has a high Legend ratio in comparison to other generations. I think the only one that really beats it is Gen 4? Excluding other forms, because this is just a lot of different forms. No, I think Gen 7. Yeah, Gen 7 beats it. And so does Gen 4. I think Gen 1 has the most non-legendary mons added. But that kind of makes sense. Because it only has 5 legends. And 4 if you're counting Mew as a mythical. So it's like, there'd be that, but that's just details. That's semantics. For normal types, I'm going to go with the Doggo. I think we'll go with the Doggo. Fire, we're going to go with Volcarona. Water, Swamp, Samurott. Yeah, Samurott. And Grass, Leavanny. Electric, we can have some options, because I've used most of these. Electros has to have it, though, being the only mon with no weaknesses. Like, come on. Yeah. Yeah, this seems great. It's one of the few reasons why, if I fail, I don't feel too bad, because it's just I get to hear the theme again. I remember whenever I did, like, Link battles, we always chose this. Or, like, one of the other Legend themes, because it's just so good. I'm going to go with the Ice Cream Cone. I think fighting is where this is one of the fighting and a few of the other types are where Gen 5 kind of falls flat. Because I don't really like any of them. Like, I don't mind the Swords of Victory, Swords of Justice. It's just that I don't really care for them. because they're all fighting type, which means they all kind of serve the same purpose. And only one of them's a sweeper. Like, the other two are relatively slow tanky boys. So it's like, eh. So it's, eh. I'm gonna go with Mianxiao, just because it's the only one I don't mind its existence. Yeah, I don't really like. I don't like I don't like the Timberline. I don't care for Embor. I don't mind it nearly as much as other people do. I just don't care for it. Out of the 3 starters, it's the one I don't use. Even though, yes, I'm very much aware that in a speedrun, it's definitely the one to pick. It or Samurott, I think, are the 2 options, and you would just never go with Snivy because it just can't kill worth a crap until it's superior. And even then, it's slower at killing things than the other 2 are. Sock and Thoreau were a neat idea of making version exclusive or version rare Mons, but they just weren't interesting. Yeah, I believe you can. There's a method to do it with like with excuse me with Oshawott, but it's essentially the same strategy. It's just that Tepig is better at it. And Snivy just can't kill worth a crap, so you just never use it. Because why would you? Though I think in Black and White 2, the speedruns are different, and I need to double check what they do, because it's just... They use different things. They probably still use Tepig, though. Yeah. Because you don't need a TM for Flame Charge or anything, you just get it. Mianxiao. I don't mind the poison types in this game, but there's one clear superior. Yeah, I have to go with Crocodile because I don't. Thing is, I don't care for a lot of them. I don't mind. To be fair, I actually don't mind Seismitoad. I've used one, and I've used actually all of these except for Landorus because why the hell would I use Landorus in a normal run? Because you can't get them. Yeah. Um. Wait. Isn't it later? When do you get Drillbur in Black and White 2? Yeah, Relic Passage. So no, you'd get it after. Like it would take. It would be later. Later in Black and White 2. Yeah. All the way back there, because the best place to get it is Relic Passage. And yeah, that's actually I think after 5th gym. Wait, no, you can get Drillbur earlier in because you can get a Wellspring Cave in Black and White. You get it earlier. You get it before Gym 2. So like, no, in Black and White 1 it'd be faster. You don't need to get it in your 5th gym because you can get a Wellspring Cave. Yes. I didn't put Braviary down, so we're gonna put Braviary down. I still love how Victini is still it's top of the list because it's 0-0-0. Yeah. Woobat probably. Bug, I'm gonna break my rule. I'm sorry, I don't really care for the bug types, and I've already used Volcarona. I've used Crustle, I just don't care for it, really. So we are going to actually not use it, because we're going to use Archeops. Yeah, I didn't use Chandelure, so we'll use Chandelure here. Dargon. Yeah, we'll put Haxorus. I like Hydreigon, just getting it at level 64 is just... no. Yeah, Bisharp sounds good. Actually, we'll go with Zoroark. So, actually, we'll go with Zorua, because I think I prefer it. And we'll swap those around. I love our options, they're great. Here's the fun thing. I'm gonna actually put Superior down, because although I use Samurott more often now, but it's mostly because of just one consistency with my runs. Superior has the flaw of, if you end up with a shit nature, you're not going to be able, like, it's going to suck. Not to mention, Servine isn't too bad. Neither is really Snivy at killing things. Superior, if you're not high enough level or have the right IVs and EVs, it's going to take some time. Now with Leaf Blade, you can move it up a little bit because you can get focus stuff and you can use Quail and shit. So you become a dank tank that murders everything. But that requires a lot of setup. Only 2 gimmick forms, and I much prefer Mega Audino. We'll go with Zekrom just because I know people kind of detest when I do that. And Leavanny. Gen 6. I'm actually going to go with Heliolisk after using one, because they're quite fun. So, that's just fun thing. Fire type. I'm going to piss everyone off. I'm actually going to put Fox here. Because I know people want me to put Talonflame, but I just don't. I've used Talonflame too much, and I don't care for it. Water type, same thing. I'm just going to piss people off because I'm going to fly Klotzer. Because I think it's better than Greninja. Fuck you. Put that in chat. Grass, we're actually going. I'm going to put Gourgeist because I have a shiny one that I made competitive because I randomly found it. Wasn't even intending of getting one. I just got one. It's great. We're gonna put Dedenne, the little electric mouse, because you quite like it. Aurorus is probably the best ice type in the game, so it's very sad but true. I'm going to give Chestnut the benefit of the doubt here because I like Hawlucha, but I don't care for it nearly as much. Poison, Ragalage. I want to try to avoid using Megas. I can't avoid it. Fine, Groudon gets it. Because it gets to be a legend. Yeah. But we're going to put Noivern here. Because we're going to put another thing in the dragon spot. In Psychic, we're going to go with Malamar because I like its unique nature being Psychic Dark. And then here, we're going to go with a very fancy Pavilion. I like the flower pattern Pavilion. It's really nice. The rock type, we'll go with the Dino because I already used the other Dino. And I'm actually going to what are we going to put here, you might be asking? Gumi. Not Goodra, not Sliggoo, Gumi. And before you're wondering, yes, that's the other reason why I didn't put Greninja down, because I'm putting them in the dark section. Steel gets the key. Fairy gets the best one. And after using all three, my decision is final. I prefer Chestnut out of all of them. I don't know why. I think it's nice looking. And I've used it. It's also reasonably good, especially in the game it's in. In competitive, it is hot garbage. It just doesn't work in a competitive sense. But in a PvE sense, it works perfectly fine. And it does its job very well. It's just you need to be careful for flying types. You will get slaughtered. We have gimmick types of all of them, because all the megas were gimmicks for this generation. And I get to have a free reign, and we're going to put Absol down, because it makes the most sense. For Legend, I'm also going to use a Cheek, because we're also going to use another primal form. Favorite being the best one. Gen 7 is a bit... Yeah, we'll go with the Toucan. Fire, we'll go with Salazzle. I kind of want to put Alolan Marowak here, but after using one, it's good, but it didn't do its moveset is what held it back. In Gen 8, probably in Gen 8, I probably would have preferred it, because in Gen 8 you can it gets an own evolution. Okay. What is interesting? Yeah. Volt. Alolan Ninetales. I think there's more fairy types. Yeah, there's other fairy types. Yeah, we'll put you there because I know I just want to make sure. Yeah, we'll put you there. We already put Salazzle down. Yeah, we'll put the Sandcastle. I like the Sandcastle. I've used Typing throughout or pick Snivy and RNG manip. Yeah, that makes sense. Using RNG manipulation. Oh yeah, because getting a hidden ability is bloody almost impossible in Black and White. While in Black 2, White 2, you can actually get the hidden ability through the Dreamscape and stuff as well, or just because of moveset of tutors. Yeah, you have access to tutors. Yeah, because black and white have absolutely no damn tutors, so that does make sense. We're going to go with the ghost for this. Psychic, we get the fish. Bug, we get the Golisopod, because I didn't use Golisopod yet. We're going to go with, actually, I was originally thinking about putting Dayform Lycanroc. But after using Midnight Form Lycanroc, I do quite like it. So we're going to actually give it the luxury spot. I'm very much aware that Dayform is the way to go in a competitive sense because it gets Accelerock. But I do kind of like the tanky Rock Boy who just does a lot of damage. I don't think I put Decidueye down yet, so we can put down Decidueye. Yeah, we're gonna put Muck down. And I made sure to not use Sandslash. Good. Faye, I'm going to put down Mimikyu because I can. The best starter. This is a hot, heated debate that no one can agree upon, and I'm going to go with the owl. Just stage 1 owl because it's adorable. Fuck you. The gimmick form. I think I ended up with a shit one, and I know I ended up with a shit one. But I did quite like Alolan Raichu. I ended up with a really, really, really shit one because it had, I think, lowered speed. No, it had lowered special attack, I think. That or speed. No, it was definitely speed. And it just made it just slightly too slow. And it's sad. It's so sad. It's such a good mon if you can get it so it's not stupidly slow. We already had this track, so we already had a Battle Suicune at one point, so we're actually going to swap this to here. Here's the hard part. Do I go based, or do I go just kind of design? Because I know what the based option is. But I know, like, also which one I like the design the most of. I think, yeah, we'll go with Lunala, because I think that's the one that would be the best pick. I'm sure everyone can guess what the based pick was. I just realized this row is probably pretty damn different than the more recent one. I think based upon personal experience and preference, I see a minute compared to Tepig. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. I think that's the best option. Now, Gen 8. I think we're going to go with the Ghost Fox. We're going to start getting into double territory. And yeah, we're going to make sure everyone gets their spotlight. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I know what I'm doing. We're just gonna put all three. Like, we're just gonna make the first 4 Hisuian Mons. And then because I know how to play the bass, I like my Frostmoth. Yeah, Hisuian Lilligant, I think. In the actual game, I think that their model stands out. It's not very good as a sprite, but like in battle, it's one of the nicest sprites, I think, because it's just pretty. But this is also coming from someone who has 2 of them on their, like, I have a Hisuian Typhlosion and a Hisuian Samurott on the team in Legends, so it's like I'm not really the best person to talk about that. We'll go with the Top Hat Weezing. I think the Top Hat Weezing I think is very nice. We're gonna show Sandaconda some love. And we're also going to show absolute disrespect to everything else that's possibly here by going Corviknight. Absolute disrespect to all the other really good flying types there. You know, yeah, no, I like the Ponyta. Vibe check Eternatus looks at stat total, gets scared. Yeah, no, I think Centiskorch. And then yeah, and then the Coleman. I think yeah. I know they're not very good, but I do kind of like the design of just an apple with the word just murdering you. Base it of 1,125. I wonder why you can never use it. Thankfully, it's the most powerful mon you will never fight. Well, you will fight. It's not the most powerful mon you can actually use. That honor still goes to Mega Rayquaza, I think. With the BSD of 760. Grimmsnarl. The tower. I'm gonna throw a curveball. Ha. That's sturdy. The best gimmick form, just by raw appearance, like Come on. It literally has to be nothing. Anything but, like, I'm really honest, like, Galarian Moltres is absolutely terrifying looking. Statistically, it is probably one of the worst ones here, but it just looks so good. Um, and I think I'm going to go with the Shield Doggo because I like the Shield Doggo. No, he's a tower. He's not a toaster. He doesn't go up all the way. He doesn't have a full... He doesn't... It's not a full open in the chest. Then he'd be a toaster. Yeah, I'm looking at the intricate details. And the little pony to rule them all. I forgot how stacked this was, because I actually like all of these. Except for Dun Dunsparce. Dun Dunsparce, even though I like because it's funny, it's not going to beat the list. No, we're gonna go with Palmolive, like the Palmolive evolution, because I do quite like it. Unique. Yeah. Which. I think I have to go with Aquatoros, actually. I don't care about any of the others. Yeah, the Dunsparce was a meme until you found out it's real, and then you realized the Pokemon Company was listening. They heard that if you said the meme, to be fair, the grass types in Gen 9 are stacked. Like, they're actually really good, because this is like convergent evolution of Tentacool and stuff, and I actually really like it. And like, you have the grass fire type, you have the tumbleweed, like, oh my lord, they're stacked. We're gonna go with Masquerada just because I think it's... Yeah, be careful what you wish for. They might be listening. The electric types in Gen 9 are a bit lacking. But I guess we'll go with this boy. I'm going to go with this boy because they're cute. I don't actually have any opinions of Gen 9 ice types because I just don't use them. Fully honest, I just didn't use any of them, so I don't care. Even though I'm very much aware you can get them early because you can get anything early if you are devoted enough. Annihilate was very good fun. I recommend it, actually. I specifically used it because I went, wait, they gave Primeape an evolution? Yeah, it's like, I know it's good, I just never use any of the ice types, so I don't give two craps. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go with the thing. I don't know what to call it, but I like it. And here comes my sad choice. Do I break my rules or give it to Clodsire? That's my sad part. I don't want to give it to Clodsire. For the simple reason, out of all, like, I prefer him to the conversion evolutions because I prefer him over Quagsire, actually. I think his design is better. But I prefer the rest of them, including the Paradox Mons and the Legend. It's just like, do I break a rule and use like the forms and the legend, or just give it to Clodsire? Do I like them? No. Do I think they're interesting and better designed than Quagsire? Yes. We'll give it to Clodsire. Sure, we'll give it to the Flamingo because they're spooky, actually. Their stats are kind of spooky, especially with how early you can get them. You know what? Despite its difficulty of getting, I'm going to put the War Boy down. With Bug, we're actually going to put the Mantis down because I actually quite like the Grasshopper Locust. They're not very good, but I do quite like them. They're not that bad, especially since you can get them earlier than Hydreigon, amusingly enough. Because reminder, by the time you're going through it, you probably don't have level 60s yet. Or you're just barely reaching level 60, so you probably don't even have a Hydreigon. So that's the fun part. The Salt. We're going to actually give it the Misdreavus Paradox because I kind of like it. I understand why it's not as good. Like, it's very clearly not as good. It's a lower base stat total, its ability is worse, its type is worse. Be Minecraft. It is blocky like Minecraft. Dargon. We're going to give it to the skateboard. The motorcycle, because I like it. I have to give it to the evolution of Bisharp. I know I use Bisharp, but it just makes the most sense. And originally, I was going to put, like, this line here, but I've actually have a soft spot for the fucking worm. Plaza with a skateboard. It's fucking great, and you know it. I don't know why or how this worm is actually... I quite like it. And it's just so stupid because it just looks out of place. But I love it. Come on, it's a donut dog. And then, sorry, Masquerade just takes a fucking cake for starters. It's just so much better. Like, I understand that they, for some reason, Game Freak can't help themselves of putting a cat on two legs, but they keep doing it with reasonable quality, so I don't care. We're just gonna go with Pyrotaurus, because I've already used Aquataurus, so we'll put Pyrotaurus. For the legend, I'm gonna blow everyone's expectations and choose the Goldfish. And no, I think I have to go with Annihilate. I think Annihilate was my favorite actually out of all of them. Because actually, like, Gen 9 has the most probably the most shit I like, but then also the shit I forget the most, which is the weird part. The King of Normal. We have the Good Fox, the Ferret, the Nasty Boy, the Raptor, the Doggo, the Lizard, the Bird, the Ghost Fox, and the Olive Branch. Victory goes to Doggo. I'm sorry, but all of you are trumped by Houndoom. If Houndoom is on a list, it will probably take a... It's like what's going to happen with Electric. I think my feelings have changed. So I think I'm actually going to go with Primarina. Which is really weird, because I didn't like Primarina to start with. Livani. Ampharos. Alolan Ninetales, maybe? Alolan Ninetales. Fighting. Heracross, maybe? Yeah, we'll go with Heracross. Roserade. Torterra. Altaria. Probably Metagross. Actually, I think Metagross is probably the one for this one. We'll go with, yeah, we'll go with Golisopod. Lycanroc. Doublade, which I'm going to Shiny-ify because I have one. That everyone hates me for because it's competitive. Eviolite, Doublade. Ichgober. The Gibble. It's us. Dennis. Yeah. Gardevoir. They're all really good. I think Owlboy. Like the owl. Gimmick is definitely actually Absol. I think Absol gets the king here. I know I got Kyogre twice, and that's for good reason. And Ampharos. So we're going to get. I'm going to use Masquerada. Actually, not Masquerada.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yes. We're going to actually replace Masquerada with Primarina. Ampharos. Roserade. Houndoom. Doublade? No, yeah, Gardevoir and Doublade. Team good. Amazing? Yeah, I don't know. Good? Yes. Favorite regional bird? Probably the one that's actually on the list. Regional mammal, once again, the one that's on the list. Regional bug, Swaddle, once again, one of the ones on the list. Pseudo. We're gonna go with Hydreigon because I do really like it. It's just, once again, favorite Pikachu clone. Ignoring all the actual versions of Pikachu on this list. We're going to go with Omega because everyone fucking hates it when I bring in my competitive Omega because I still have it. Favorite evolution, the Sylve. Fossil. Actually, I put up quite a few fossils on the list, actually. Probably Aurorus, though. Not the fish. I'm sorry. I don't mind Dracovish or the other fish, Arctovish. It's just... No. Also, I'm fully honest, I'm not caring for this. Let's go with Deoxys. Regional variant. I think Hisui and Lilligant. Just outright. Although I did pick like other gimmick forms that were like regional variants, I think probably best option. I think either Fwoof or Birthday Cake. I want to go with Fwoof. Baby. Because I actually put it on the list. Favorite box legendary. Things on the cover. Yeah. Favorite mythical. I don't think Deoxys is actually classified as a mythical anymore. I think Deoxys is now classified as legendary again. Because you don't have to do an event to get it. The classifications of Pokemon never get tired. No, they do. Zeraora, maybe. Ultra Beast. Yeah, Dragalege. Iron Valiant, for sure. Favorite type. Based on my stuff, we're gonna go with electric. Now here's the question. Pokeballs. How do we ball them? I know personally, like, what the best balls are, just outright. But if I go by design, like... Or should I just do the meme? Nah, screw it, I'm doing the meme. Because the Great Ball always works. That's my favorite. No, that's my favorite spin deck. Oh, creamy. Favorite new evolution. I think they weren't on the list, but they did make me think about a Mon that I never thought I would think about. And that's probably Electivire. I just never thought about it until Electivire came out. There we go. For people interested, there you go. I'm going to post this as my updated one over on Twitter. For people who want to. Yeah. This was quite interesting, and it was enlightening to kind of see how doing the Pokeathon has actually like made me question what I like put things, because I started using more crap. I always did like try to use new stuff or like something I haven't used before, but it also, yeah, it's very clear I have a very heavy leaning towards electric and grass types. Also, I kind of feel like Annihilate just kind of feels out of place in the favorites section. Is like you have electric types, a psychic, like you have like the cool types, and then just ghost. Nevertheless, hopefully tomorrow, well, today, I guess, because it's 12. Once I get home from work, we'll go stream, we'll do some fun stuff, and then we'll be all good. Now, here's a question. Before I leave you, is anyone streaming? No. Like, actually not. That makes me sad. Therefore, as I don't have any suggestions, I get sad. Nevertheless, I once again put social links out because I can. Have a lovely night.